Hey, greetings, everyone. Chris Jengra here from Daytona Beach. It's always a pleasure to take this segment and actually share this wonderful information in reference to the 90-day run. Now, folks, this is exciting because right now we are crossing the halfway point. Um, well, not the halfway point, but we're doing the first quarter, and we're moving on to the second segment and then the third segment. Sorry, not the halfway point. So this is day 37. Now, yesterday, Dr. James did day 36, and this week we're talking about product sales. And of course, it doesn't mean that you have to limit yourself to product sales, but that's kind of what the examples are leaning towards. But understand that you can also work towards building your business and enrolling associates in building the business. Now, here's the thing. This particular segment on day 37 has everything to do with doing lives, specifically interviewing. Interviewing, for example, customers, sidelines, uplines, downlines, about their product story. Okay, that's the there. So that's the there. So, for example, many of you have done, Zoom sessions, have done presentations, and one thing that you can do, just a quick little tip, is you can record your video, and then you can edit your video, and then you can use tools like, for example, Ecamm Live. I love Ecamm. It's absolutely phenomenal. You can also consider StreamYard. That's another one that Frazer Brookes talked about. I'm not using StreamYard. I'm using Ecamm. Maybe some of you are. These are wonderful tools. As a matter of fact, right now, I'm broadcasting through Ecamm. I booked this call. Some of you might have seen the actual post that was done last night or last evening, depending on where you live in the world. And it was basically this particular segment at 12 o'clock Eastern time. Okay, so I'm talking about East Coast here, as far as time zones are concerned. And from there, when the time comes up, I just press the button to go live, and holy and behold, here we are. So one of the things that you could do is to start interviewing. And the fact is, like I said, if you record your video, you can edit it. And with Ecamm, you can actually broadcast your video as if it is live. In fact, if you go to my personal profile, you'll notice that I have a few videos there where we're on the beach. And actually, the video was posted about a day or two after the video was actually conceived. It was actually prepared. I edited it a little bit, and then it was broadcast as if it was live. And this is a phenomenal tool. And with ecamm.com, you can actually download it for free on your computer, and you can actually do a live. Now, there's some limitations, but I think you can do all the basics, which are the necessities for what we're about to talk about here tonight. Now, the key this evening or this afternoon, again, depending where you live. So the key here today is the topic is you want to interview someone in reference to their product experience. And here's are some of the examples that you can use as questioning for your interview. For example, one is, and again, you can add to this, and what I'm sharing does not have to be exactly what I'm sharing. It's just some examples here. You may think of some better ideas, but here's some of the basics is, why did you start using the Celgivity? Why did you start using this product? Why did you start using the Metaswitch or the Infuse or the ATP, whatever products are available in your profile? So these some of the things that could be, just a second, some things just appeared on my screen. Just bear with me here. Okay, here we go. So from there, so that could be one of the questions. And one of the things that I really like, and I've done many interviews before through Zooms and everything else, which was live sessions, but not through a live with Facebook. And I'll come back to that a little bit later, or some of the platforms you can go live into. But the second question that you can ask is, how long have you been using it? How long have you been using it? And as they are sharing, let them speak. And then, of course, there could be a monologue back and forth between you and them in reference to a certain topic related to the question. Another one is, what did you try before? What did you do before? So, for example, before I used to use this particular product, but when I got into the Celgivity, I just started feeling better. I sleep better. I feel better. A lot of the inflammation I was dealing with is just not there anymore. I just, you know what I mean? And then you can actually go and monologue. And this brings an enormous amount of credibility to your audience. So if let's say you're using your cell phone and you're recording yourself with, for example, the person that's right beside you that you're interviewing and they're sharing, right? You can turn around and you can actually edit this and then you can save it to a computer and then you can upload it through, for example, something like Ecamm Live as if it is going live. Now, you can also, I've done that many times. In fact, Tammy and I tend to do form of questioning often as we're together on the beach and we talked about our experiences, maybe some tips and things like that, right? It's kind of like a form of interview, but we're going back and forth. But that's the thing. And what's really interesting, I started doing this actually way before this day 37. I started doing this about 3 weeks ago because I used to do it in the past and I stopped and I decided to do this again. And it's really interesting where in some cases, within a space of a week, the video has been seen 1,000 times. Wow. So it's really working and people appreciate that. So this is really the dare today is for you to do an interview and a monologue that goes on between you and another person and sharing a product experience. And again, by the time that you're done the interview, if you want more information, DM me, let me know. I look forward to connect with you to give you more details on how you can try it. Right? It's just some examples. And that's what Frazer was talking about yesterday. Now, one of the things, the platforms you can use is, I like Facebook Live. I'm used to Facebook Live. You can certainly use that. You can use Instagram too, Instagram Group Live. You can certainly do that. And I know as we move forward, remember, this is day 37. We have 90 days, so there's a lot of days left, right, to talk about this. So he's going to be talking a bit further about doing some live through Instagram. But again, same thing. You can have your Instagram going, you're doing a live, and you can have the person right beside you and share their experience in line to the question that I shared with you a moment ago. Right? One thing that you can do is that you can actually save your video. And once your video is saved on either your device or your computer, wherever, then you can upload it on YouTube. Right? When it comes to TikTok, what you can do with TikTok is you can actually break your video in small segments. Right? And what you can do is, when you do a story or you do a reel and you can have a series of videos that goes on one after the other, you can construct that also. Same thing. And when you finish on the last segment, is for more information, just DM me. I look forward to connect with you and let you know exactly how you can access these products from wherever you live, right? So I really appreciate the feedback here, guys, on Facebook. Unfortunately, I can't see your names, but maybe if I go right here into right here. Okay, here we go. Okay, Eric. Oh, that's awesome. Eric Asari, you're here. Esu, you're here. Mary, how are you? From the Philippines. Eric, nice to see you from Toronto. Chizoma, I think you're from the Philippines. Nice to see you. Not the Philippines, I'm sorry, from Nigeria. And yeah, this is actually wonderful. I really appreciate the feedback. I love thumbs up. I love hearts. And if you see something that resonates well with you that can actually help your team or help one of your team member, just forward it to someone. Forward it to someone in your team. Forward it to one of your group. Forward it to one of your team associates. Thanks for the hearts. I really appreciate that. So, but this information that we're sharing here is so critical to help you create a level of credibility. And that's what it's all about. And understand that doing one video is just not enough. You have to constantly repeat the process. That's what makes you being recognized in the social media platform. It's the repetition, and the people are seeing you on a regular basis, especially going at the same time. I don't know if you've noticed, but we are generally going exactly at the same time from Monday to Friday, sharing the Crown Diamond 90-day run. Right? So we're doing this for a purpose, and people get used to you posting at a certain time, and they tend to come back. And in fact, they're expecting a video from you, especially if it's been repeated on a daily basis. Right? So these are some of the things that I highly, highly recommend. The thing is, the more interview you do, the better you will become, but it will also educate your downline. It's really interesting. Right? And one thing that Frazer was talking about is, for example, we have a weight loss product, right? Is our MetaSwitch, if it happens to be available in your market. And what he says is to find a sexy name for your product to create a bit of tension around what it is that you are talking about. For example, he used the term the belly blaster, right? I'm not saying that's something that you should use. It's just an example. How are you doing on a belly blaster? Right? Losing weight, losing belly fat. You know what I mean? So it's just some of the things that he talked about. So in your title, you can say, come and listen to Jennifer talking about the belly blaster experience on how things have done for her, how it's doing for her. I'm just giving you a quick example here. So the fact here is that it's all about repetition. And that is the key to secret. That is a secret. If you want to know what the secret is the repetition, is to you to repeating the process. Okay. And again, remember, you can record on your phone. And there's so many apps now that you can just edit the video on the fly. You can save it. And when it's saved, hey, Irene, how are you? When it's saved, then from there, you can upload it. And I highly recommend to use tools like Ecamm. Now, of course, I mentioned your StreamYard. I don't have experience with StreamYard. I'm sure it's a great tool. It's a great software. There's lots of benefits and everything else. I'm just used to Ecamm. I use the Pro version because there's so many benefits. You can stream on YouTube. You can stream on Facebook. You can stream, in fact, 4 or 5, depending on the bandwidth that you have with your data. You need a certain minimum for the software to accept to say, well, yeah, we can stream in all these different platforms because you have the bandwidth to support it. And if you don't understand what I mean by bandwidth, just disregard it. Don't worry about it. So the fact here, and this is the dare today. This is the dare. Keep it very, very, very simple. Very simple. Grab your cell phone. Grab one of your team member and send them maybe the question. Tell them in advance what the questions are going to be so they can prepare mentally for it. I know many of you have done that. I know Sir Java has done some interview very often in his sessions on YouTube. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You don't have to be a professional. Grab your cell phone, press play and record. And if you feel comfortable, just go on Facebook Live, put your title, a little bit of description, press live, and start talking. Tammy and I do this all the time. And this is the dare here, guys, today. So at the end of the day, what's really important is for you to take action. Take action on these activities. You have generally 37 days. Now, remember, it is always 2 days from the weekends that are counted that really don't count. So it's not really 37 days. It's more like, 29, 28 days. The bottom line here is we have over 25 to 26 different training segments. And if you haven't done some dares and you feel you're way behind, don't worry. Don't beat yourself up on the fact that you didn't do them all. I didn't do them all. But I'm aware of them all. I took note of them all. And as I live my life and I see an opportunity, I use them. Right now, I'm doing a lot of lives and I tend to focus more on Facebook. And then once it's on Facebook, I save the video and I cut portions and I actually will also upload it as a reel or as a story into my TikTok and Instagram. And this is exactly what I'm doing. And it's doing really, really well. In fact, I've noticed, and I know Ann Turnbull was saying the same thing. I'm sure Dr. James and others, my wife, same thing. And Webmaster is saying, we're noticing that there's a lot more traction. There's a lot more interaction. And just be mindful sometimes you will come across, the more out there you are, be prepared that there will be some scrupulous folks that are not necessarily have good intentions. You just need to screen that out, right? To be able to get to good grounds, you have to get rid of the weeds. And that's something that you also will notice that you will have to work towards. Okay? So that's the session here today. Again, what is the dare is to do a live to discuss their product story, which is either with a customer, it could be a team member, it could be an upline leader, it could be a sideline. And you can also do that for the opportunity. Now, how long should this be? It's really up to you. I like to keep things generally within 3 to 5 minutes at the top, but it can go 5 minutes. It could be 15 minutes. It could be 10 minutes. It's really up to you. 5, 10, 15, it's up to you. There's really no, if you are engaging your audience based on answers that actually are creating curiosity and education, you'll find that you will attract people and people will stick around. Okay. So that's it. So it was a real pleasure to share with you here today. I hope that you're ready for day 38. Tammy's going to be sharing that tomorrow. And again, it goes from Monday to Friday. And again, don't beat yourself up if you don't do them all. Take note of them all. These calls are recorded permanently on our Facebook Live. You can find them on features in this Crown Diamond Global Impact group. You can also find it on the Crown Diamond Global Impact handle on YouTube. You can also find them all there. They're all there for you as you see fit. And what's really interesting, if you sign up someone in a month from now, tomorrow, and a year from now, this information will still be valid. So have yourself a wonderful day, everybody, and bye for now.